Hello and welcome to the channel. AliExpress March anniversary sale has started and it will run until the 26th of this month. As usual, I compiled a recommendation list for you to consider. If you've seen my previous recommendations, you might already know that for a timepiece to be included in my list, it either needs to be really well priced at the time of making the video, or it has to be really well designed and to be fairly new, or a combination of both. So you might see some really recent watches as well as some older models, but with some seriously good price tags. And just a word of caution, such low prices don't tend to last for too long, so if you see something that you like and the price is good, well, lock it in. Put it in the basket. Of course, I will put all the links and discount information that I can find in the description of this video. And a usual disclaimer, those will be affiliate links which, without costing you anything extra, might generate a small commission on qualified purchases, which of course will help to support this channel, and your support is greatly appreciated, so thank you very much in advance. Now, a spoiler alert, I included a couple of very new watches, including a Saint Martin that was literally released a few days ago. Naturally, I'll put those towards the end, so make sure you don't miss them. And now, without any further ado, and in no particular order, let's get on with this list. Okay, let's kick off with this probably one of the most affordable NH34 powered GMTs and a very recent model from Specht and Sohne. A bunch of different colorways on offer here, which is always good. Just be careful when selecting one, because there are non-GMTs model amongst those. Specht and Sohne seems to be offering here a full stainless steel construction, sapphire crystal and, as I just mentioned, Seika NH34 GMT movement in the back. Priced at this March sale at around $88 makes this watch one of the most affordable GMTs around. A word of caution though, I included this model in my list because of the specifications and a very good price. However, my experience with Specht and Sohne hasn't been very consistent. I received a couple of really well put together watches from them, which I reviewed, and they are still in my collection. So when it is good, it is really good. However, I also had a lemon or two from this brand, which I had to send back to AliExpress for a full refund, so something to keep in mind. This is the first Saint Martin on my list, however, it is definitely not last. This is actually a very decent upgrade to a very popular Saint Martin original design, a so-called Fruit collection, and they just made a really good watch even better. In its core, it has a skin diver form factor, and this upgrade brings a bunch of refinement points to that Fruit collection table. We have more elaborate use of chamfers on the case, upgraded H-link stainless steel bracelet with Saint Martin latest clasp that features their new on-the-fly adjustment. And we even get a decorated caseback, where by popular demand, the shark is now back. Saint Martin still offers the first version of this diver, I guess because it is also a very popular watch. I did a full review of both and even a light comparison between the two versions. Link, of course, will be in the description. Now, this next watch is WM Watch recent model, and it really took me by surprise. I covered it in my recent AliExpress unboxing haul video, and we get here a very interesting set of specifications, including prominent box sapphire crystal and, of course, the main highlight of this watch, the Miyota 9132 movement with power reserve complication. Along with a very interesting design and movement, it is also discounted for this March sale from $255 down to about $237-ish. Possibly with various coupons and coins, you can get this price even lower at the checkout. As I noted in my haul unboxing video, WM Watch demonstrated really good attention to detail here and even included half links in the bracelet. It is well proportioned at 40mm case diameter and 12.8mm case height, out of which about 2mm is actually taken by this lovely bubble sapphire crystal. I will be releasing a full review of this watch soon, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it. So I have more releases from WM watches on this list, but first let's take a look at this Sea-Gull. I did a review of this watch recently and it is a real value powerhouse. We get here Sea-Gull build quality, very interesting dial that comes in 4 colorways. Of course, in-house Sea-Gull ST17 movement and all the premium materials like full 316L stainless steel construction and sapphire crystal. All this during the sale for around $166. Also, don't forget to check out my full review of this really interesting watch. Link, of course, will be in the description. So WM Watch brand has really extended their catalog lately and they have a good selection of homages as well as original designs. And I must say that they seem to be taking customer feedback really seriously. And with every watch it looks like they refine the build quality and the designs. And this particular GMT is not an exception. Powered by Seiko NH34 GMT movement and homaging one of the popular Grand Seiko designs, this is a very well presented timepiece. Of course, we have here full stainless steel construction and sapphire crystal covering this really well executed dial. Even as is, this watch is really well priced for an NH34 powered timepiece, so seeing it discounted even further down to $115-ish US definitely qualifies it for my recommendation list. I also did a full review of this GMT, the link will be in the description. Right, so this pilot watch hardly needs any introduction. Really well put together timepiece from Addiesdive, which I already reviewed, and it is seriously good. Since my review, Addiesdive has been consistently reducing the price, and when I thought that there is no further room to make this price any lower, well, they now offering this pilot for around $41. Absolutely insane. Not sure if such a low price will last, so grab it while it's available. Now, this WM watch landed on my doorstep literally as I was preparing this video, and what an interesting timepiece with a party trick up its sleeve. The white colorway has a fully loomed dial background, not something we see very often, and the loom seems to be very decent too. This watch features all-round bead blasted or is it sand blasted finish on a full stainless steel construction, and we get a screw-down crown here too for a peace of mind when it comes to the declared 100 meters of water resistance. We also have sapphire crystal covering the dial here, and it is powered by Seiko NH35 movement. A very interesting and very well proportioned watch. WM Watch is offering decent discounts across their models during the sale, and this watch is not an exception. I will be releasing a full review of this timepiece in the next few days, so watch this space. So next we have this Sugess dress watch, and in my experience Sugess delivers really good build quality and specifications. And this watch seems to fit this profile too, along with the premium looks and complications on this automatic mechanical timepiece. So we have here big date and a true 29-day moonphase indicator, thanks to the Sea-Gull movement ST2528 that powers this watch, and the usage of gemstone dial is responsible for this timepiece's good looks. So it looks like with coupons we should be able to get the price here all the way down to almost $109, which is a very reasonable price for this timepiece. And here is another GMT that hardly needs any introduction for regular viewers of my channel. Initially priced at around $200, it looks like Pagani Design finally came around and set much more reasonable price on this timepiece, nearly half the initial price tag. Powered by Seiko NH34 movement and featuring all the premium materials like sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel insert and full stainless steel construction, this Pagani Design represents a real steal of a deal. Don't forget to check my full review of this watch for all the details and the loom test. So Seestern, just in case you are not aware, is the sister brand to Sugess, and the same as Sugess, the build quality and attention to detail on Seestern watches are really good, at least in my experience, and I reviewed a few Seestern watches in the past, including this very popular diver homage. Obviously, this is not a new model, however, it is not very often that I see the price on this diver deep under $100, and that is the reason why it is on my recommendation list today. There are quite a few colorways available, which is great, however, it looks like there are some differences in prices for different color variations, so something to keep in mind. Now, the reason that this homage from Addiesdive is on my list is because of the very unusual price tag of around $70. Normally priced at around $100, this is a very good opportunity if you want to experience how the Seiko Sumo form factor will work on your wrist. Personally, I really like it. I reviewed a version of this Addiesdive with a blue shark dial, and it is done really well. Don't forget to check out my review if you are interested in this diver. And another watch from a very reputable brand that is priced really well for the sale is this Saint Martin Pilot Homage, costing about $105-ish on a stainless steel bracelet and only $82 on a leather strap. This is also a steal of a deal, and I don't recall when this watch was so affordable. Okay, it does dip under $100 now and again, however, all the way down to $82, not something I see very often. So this is another very popular and very famous watch that I reviewed recently. It is a Sea-Gull 1963 International Edition made and sold by Sea-Gull. So we are getting here a real deal and not some kind of Sea-Gull 1963 imitation or homage. I did a full review of this chronograph not so long ago with all the details of this model. Sea-Gull isn't spoiling us with major discounts during the sale, although getting around $20 off the normal price is still a very decent deal. And here is another really well-priced chronograph, but this time from Pagani Design. I did cover this chrono in my AliExpress unboxing haul video, and as it is usually the case with Pagani Design watches, this chronograph represents a ton of value for money. Powered by Seiko Mecha Quartz VK63 movement, featuring full stainless steel construction and sapphire crystal, $50 price tag here is a real steal of a deal. Also, as I pointed out in my AliExpress haul video, we get screw-down crown and screw-down chronograph pushers, which definitely helps with good water resistance of this timepiece. Now, this Hroudland 36mm watch also featured in my recent unboxing video, and it is also very impressive. We get boxed sapphire crystal, full stainless steel construction, Seiko H38 movement, and a couple of cool extra features like quick release spring bars and a clasp with on-the-fly adjustment. Hroudland promised to get the price of this watch down to around $175-ish for the March sale, and they kept their promise. And you can also get even further discount of a couple of bucks with the discount code that I will include in the description. Okay, who said that all the dress watches need to look the same, like boring three-handers? Well, thanks to a very affordable Sea-Gull automatic mechanical movement ST17, we can have a jumping hour complication for a very decent price. Combine the above-mentioned Sea-Gull movement with design prowess of Milifortic, an up-and-coming brand which is also a sister brand to Boderry, and we get a very well-designed and built dress watch. And thanks to the screw-down crown, Milifortic even managed to declare here 100 meters of water resistance, which makes this timepiece very practical. Discounted under $100 for this sale event, well, this looks like the best value for money jumping hour timepiece available. And talking about somewhat unusual and well-priced watches, well, I couldn't leave out this quite interesting Specht and Sohne Avant-garde watch. With design inspired by Egyptian pyramids, this looks really interesting. Powered by smooth sweeping Seiko Mecha Quartz movement VH31 with usage of premium materials like sapphire crystal and stainless steel, and priced only at around $80, this Specht and Sohne seems to represent a really good value for money. Of course, all my previous reservations about Specht and Sohne as a brand still apply here, so proceed with caution. Now, where I definitely have much more faith in customer service and quality control is Zezame brand and this very interesting vintage-inspired GADA watch that I reviewed recently. It is a very well-built and very well-presented timepiece, and Zezame is offering us a decent discount during this sale too. We get here original design, full stainless steel construction, sapphire crystal and automatic mechanical movement in the back. Zezame also offers this timepiece in a bunch of different colorways, which is great. I did a full review of this timepiece very recently and I was quite impressed, so do check it out if you are considering this watch. And now, as I promised, here is this new GMT watch from the Saint Martin. It has a model number SN0134 and it has a bunch of interesting design features which are not particularly obvious. So first and foremost, it is a GMT watch and it is powered by Seiko NH34 movement. We also get here full stainless steel construction and sapphire crystal. So this is all great, but pretty much standard as far as San Martin watches go. However, if we look at the detail, then things get a bit more interesting. First we get here sapphire bezel insert, and the 24-hour bezel markers are fully loomed, with the bottom part of the bezel featuring an inverted loom pattern, which is also quite cool. Also, we get here a so-called sandwich type dial with the bottom layer painted with loom and as such supposedly enhancing the loom consistency and intensity. I am trying to get this watch in for review to see firsthand if the loom is as good as it is on the product pictures. Not that San Martin ever had a poor loom problem to start with. Now, I also decided to include this Boderry Admiral GMT that I reviewed only recently because I believe this is probably the most underrated and at the same time the most value-packed titanium GMT timepiece available. In my recent review I cover how Boderry addressed a few key points and from where I see it quietly upgraded this GMT by changing the end-links from protruding to much more versatile inverted end-links and by enhancing the loom. In my 15-minute loom test, this model performed considerably better compared to the reviews that are 10 to 11 months old. So if you are interested in a titanium GMT timepiece such as this one, well, this watch could be definitely one to consider. Now, I've seen some complaints in my comments about the Boderry's after-sales service. I do believe things are getting better now, however, something to keep in mind. So here you have it. Don't forget to like and of course subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming reviews. Also don't forget to check out my previous recommendations, which I will link on the screen somewhere around here. Thank you for watching, take care, and I will see you in the next video.